Hey, thanks for watching the Drawing for Adults class today. This class is brought to you by the Ann Arbor District Library and the Ann Arbor Art Center. Today we're going to be drawing the planes of a portrait, so grab a pencil and a sheet of paper and we'll get started. The first step is going to be to draw the head shape. So head shapes, of course, can vary person to person, and it can be helpful to draw. You can see I've drawn these like kind of crisscross lines there just for to help center this space, even though that horizontal line is way too high based off of what I'm looking at now, so I think I'll have to adjust that later if I choose to keep it. But anyway, if you're drawing yourself, then now I've adjusted that line, I think. So if you're drawing yourself, try to take a look at your own head shape, maybe compare it to someone else living at your house or other photos of portraits. See if your head shape is more oval, round, diamond. There's lots of different varieties there. So just get some kind of base for your head shape drawn in there, and then we're going to start adding in where our facial features should be. So I have drawn kind of the eyebrow line as one continuous line going across the face there. If you aren't familiar with the standard measurements of a portrait, we've done some different videos on that already, so I hope that you'll look back at some previous videos that we've made. The nose is about halfway down from that eyebrow line to the chin, and then the mouth, the middle lip line there, is anywhere from about 1/3 to 1/2 of the way down from between the nose and the chin line. Okay. The width of the eyes for a head shape is about 5 eyes across for a head, and so you can see I've marked those lines even though I haven't drawn in the eyes yet. And then I am drawing the shapes. So what we're doing with this portrait is we're taking this basic portrait and then we're breaking down the planes of the face to show where are the places that are more recessed versus where are the places that are kind of more prominent and coming out more. So by breaking down this portrait into these planes, we're able to take a closer look at, where should we shade? Where should we fill in some darker areas, showing that it's more in shadow versus where are the other areas, such as the nose, that sticks out more, that would be catching more of a highlight. All right. So that's what you're seeing now. So if you want to pause this and kind of, rewind it a little bit or whatever to kind of go back and look at it again, I would encourage you to pause it every once in a while anyway, so that you can really see step by step where I'm putting these planes of the face. Now, I do want to mention that these can vary. So here in this like cheekbone area, it really depends on the structure of the face. All of this does, right? These standard measurements, oftentimes they definitely don't work for everyone, and so it's important just to note that your face might look different than this, right? And that the planes can vary, and there's a lot of different ways of even teaching the planes of the face. If you look up different resources, you'll find probably a lot of variety there of where the planes would be, especially in the cheekbone area, chin, and nose, I would say. So now I'm going in and I'm just going to add our shadows. So you can see I'm going to start with our darkest darks, and I'm putting that around the eyes, those planes, underneath the nose, in the top lip, right under the bottom lip. And now I'm moving into the next darkest value that's lighter than the first one I did. And so that's going to be here more on the right side. Of course, this is all assuming a specific light source, which would be more on the left side. And so while it is on the left side, the light source, there's still going to be some shading, but you can see I'm not pressing down as hard with my pencil as I'm shading in that side. Okay, so I'm just going to let this replay here so you can rewatch it again. Next time we are going to be doing another plane series. So this is a 2-week series. So I'm going to be taking this drawing and turning it into a fairly realistic drawing of a portrait. So I do hope that you will tune in next week for that session and go through this process a couple of times just to get the hang of it. It's confusing, especially if you're not super familiar with those standard measurements. So I would find that video if you can and rewatch that, familiarize yourself with those standard measurements before trying to get more into the details here of the planes of the face. But hopefully you can kind of see, I feel like right now this is looking like Iron Man or something like that, robot person. So you can definitely see the structure is there. Obviously it just doesn't really look like an actual human being. So next week I hope that you'll tune in to watch that transition, that transformation take place from taking our little robot person here into an actual fairly realistic looking human. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope that you'll tune in next week.